What's happening, everybody? Trey here, joined as always by my dad, Sean, and today we got a full album reaction to Bruce Springsteen's 2002 record, The Rising, and this is going to be a mega album reaction.
It is, man. Longest one we've ever done.
Looking forward to this one for sure, and I want to shout out big Bruce Springsteen fan, big supporter of the channel, and friend of the channel, Rich, for bringing this. We reacted to Nebraska.
Yeah, we did.
We've done, we got a ton of Springsteen content up on the channel as well, if you want to check that out. And so really looking forward to this, so thank you, Rich. If you like this video, y'all be sure to give it a thumbs up, hit that big red subscribe button. We upload every day, and you can check out our Patreon page down below if you'd like to have us react to something, and be sure to follow us on Twitch as well. But all that to say, man, let's just get into the quick facts of this record.
Let's do it. 12th studio album released in July of 2002. His first studio album in 7 years, and his first with the E Street Band in 18 years. Based in large part on his reflections during the aftermath of course, the September 11, 2001 attacks. The album predominantly centers upon themes of relationship struggles, existential crisis, and social uplift. A critical and commercial success, being hailed as a triumphant return for Springsteen. Rolling Stone's 15th best album of the 2000s. The album became Springsteen's first to top the U.S. Billboard 200 since Tunnel of Love in 1987. Trey, an album that I own. Low-key, great track on there, Brilliant Disguise. Go check it out, boys and girls. Won a Grammy for Best Rock Album in 2003 and was nominated for Album of the Year. The title song, The Rising, was also a Grammy recipient. While most of the songs were written after September 11th, a few predate the attacks. Springsteen got the inspiration for the album a few days after the 9/11 attacks when a stranger car stopped to him, rolled down his window. And so I'm just thinking, Bruce is just driving along. You look over, you see him, you're like, hey, dude, roll it down. Bruce rolls it down, and the guy tells him, we need you now.
Ooh,
and Bruce is
powerful,
like,
man.
Let's go.
That's like something you'd see in a movie.
It
or
is something you'd see in a movie, man.
That's awesome. And although The Rising was a response to 9/11, many see it as a more universal anthem of resilience and hope. The Rising, given its message of hope in the face of adversity, was used by Obama at his official campaign song after Springsteen endorsed him in April of 2008. And the song The Rising also featured predominantly at the 2020 Democratic National Convention. And all tracks, as always with Bruce's stuff, are written by Bruce. So let's just dive into this. Before we go, though, music won't be in here due to copyright, and just so we don't click a 2-hour video up on here and it doesn't get pushed out anywhere.
Yeah, exactly. And I will say, guys, that I don't know this album, even though I'm a huge Springsteen fan. Just one of those things, in my life, I just never got into this album at that time in my life. I was busy, and there wasn't any Spotify to go or Apple Music to pull it off of, so I only know a few songs on here, so it's going to be a good ride.
Same here. I think I know 2 of them. I mean, I know the title track, of course. And
that song's one of my favorite Bruce songs.
Yeah, so I'm really looking forward to doing this one. So we're going to start with Lonesome Day here. It was released as the second single, went to 39 in the UK, sets the tone for the record as one of several songs that with lyrics that appear to be inspired by, of course, the 9/11 attacks. However, like other songs on the record, the lyrics work well as a reflection of the general human condition as well as, the specific incident of 9/11. The narrator in the song is attempting to deal with the loneliness due to the loss of his, her beloved.
Although also sets the tone for the album musically, it's mid-tempo rock song that also has country music elements. Susie Tyrell's strident violin is prominent, introducing one of the several new musical textures that the E Street Band employs on this album. Producer Brendan O'Brien himself plays a hurdy-gurdy, which musically hints that the narrator is remembering an innocent past that never was. And one of the things I found interesting, I never usually share the music video stuff, but the video of the song was shot in Asbury Park. Unlike most music videos, Bruce recorded the song live in each take during shooting of the video over a 16-hour period. Very, very rare. I can only think of a handful of videos where they actually sing it while they're doing it. So all that to say, thanks, Rich. Let's dive into this thing.
All right, Lonesome Day, very, very strong opener as Bruce is often known to have. And, I think this is going to kind of set the tone thematically of what we're going to be in store for.
Yeah, because the first verse starts out and you think he's talking to a girl, but then the second and third verses really do switch. And, he even commented about it. He didn't really say what the second and third verses are, but it's more like, I think probably more one of revenge against, the people who did 9/11.
Yeah, hell's brewing, dark sun's on the rise, the storm will blow through by and by, just kind of setting that darker,
yeah, exactly.
And I mean, even say, little revenge, and this too shall pass.
And then third verse, he really goes in, better ask questions before you shoot. Deceit and betrayal's a bitter fruit. It's hard to swallow come time to pay. The taste on your tongue doesn't easily slip away. So, yeah, I think it's, kind of a hybrid song, which is, I don't think you maybe want to start in the first verse just going all in. So it's probably a smart way of kind of easing you in and then go, well, let's go after this.
Well, and then again, very, kind of accessible with the bridge and chorus very simple. Just lonesome day and it's all right, it's all right, it's all right. I think works well as an opener here, and I enjoyed it, man, and enjoyed the strident violin that was in the background.
It's nice, man.
There,
very good instrumentation. That takes us to Into the Fire, which this was supposedly the first song recorded for this album. And it kind of runs down in particular the people, between the firemen and the policemen at the World Trade Center, the passengers of Flight 93, and of course after the Pentagon, after Flight 77 crashed in there. So
man, this will be a powerful one, man.
That's what I figured too, man.
All right, Into the Fire, man. Whew, what a strong just gut punch of a track, man. Capped off by one of my favorite choruses Bruce has ever done.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what else to really say. I mean, it's so powerful. I mean, I definitely just focus on the lyrics. You can understand everything he says. Sky was following a streak with blood. I hear you calling me, then you disappeared into the dust. Up the stairs into the fire. Yeah, up the stairs into the fire. I need your kiss, but love and duty called you someplace higher, somewhere up the stairs into the fire. And then he plays on that again later on, man.
No, and then I think it was just accentuated by the fact this was almost like sung not by a lover, but with that I need your kiss, but love and duty called you someplace higher.
Yeah.
And then you get that just very strong chorus. May your strength give us strength.
And the backing vocals are awesome. Gives it power.
Dude, yeah. And, then goes down verse 2 talking about Flight 93. And then especially you gave your love to me and lay your young body down. Just that word young too, just kind of think, man, how many lives, were just taken. There's so many lives taken way too soon. How many people didn't find the love of their life or have kids or do this or that. Man, powerful track.
And then the verse 3, man, it was dark, too dark to see. You held me in the light you gave. You lay your hand on me, then walked into the darkness of your smoky grave.
Whew. I mean, we listen to a ton of music on a week-to-week, month-to-month basis, so it really takes something to kind of...
Yeah, man, like it almost gets me emotional, and it was 19 years ago, but I mean, I remember living this out. Not living it out in anything like these people did, but just it just brings you back. But man, just freaking powerful. Yeah, I had goosebumps towards the end.
Me too, man. That's the power of...
Now we're going to switch to something that I did read in an interview. He said it's one of the most poppy songs that he's done. So probably
I kind of need that. Yeah. I'm glad we have that. We got Waiting on a Sunny Day. It wasn't released as a single in the U.S. Was in Europe. It was actually written before the 9/11
Probably
attacks.
why it has a poppy sound.
Yeah. So good call, kind of on the track listing here. He wrote and recorded the song in '98 or '99, but that recording hasn't been released, and then he re-recorded it in Atlanta during these sessions.
And the song combines a simple bouncing melody and arrangement powered by drums, acoustic guitars, and Susie Tyrrell's violin with a lyric that describes optimism in a couple's relationship. Instrumental breaks during the middle and end of the song feature the big man himself, Clarence Clemens' saxophone set against a glockenspiel. So it sounds like this is going to be the little levity we need here for a little bit.
Yeah. Waiting on a Sunny Day coming in, track number 3 here, and definitely a little lighter affair as we thought. I wasn't blown away by it or anything.
No, it's fine. I mean, Rich did, he was on our live stream today, did cheat and say that there are a couple songs here that didn't need to be on here. I might jump the gun and say this might be one of them he thinks. I don't know. I like it fine. I mean, I think it works to bring me, like, I don't know if I could have had another song like that.
You're right.
It's tough as an artist, right? You got to be careful. Like, when you're writing about serious subject matter and when you're going 15 songs long.
Yeah.
Especially.
That's a good point.
So I think it just fit a it fit a need as this track.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, basically what she's left, and we all have rainy days, and his life's just not the same. And I'm half a party in a one dog town.
He throws a lot of metaphors in there. Without you, I'm a drummer girl that can't keep a beat. Ice cream truck on a deserted street. I hope that you're coming to stay.
With Bruce's great writing ability, you look at this and go, Bruce, he kind of. But he even said that. He says it's one of the most poppy songs he's ever done, and he's like,
It is a bit catchy in the chorus.
It is.
And I see on Spotify, it shows the popularity. It's the most popular song on here besides the title track, which does surprise me.
That does surprise me too, but people don't want the heaviness, man.
But shout out to the big man. He was the highlight for me on this
me
one.
Too.
But anyways, man, we're going to go now to Nothing Man. So track number 4. He said that this was originally completed in 94.
Wow.
Re-recorded. So back-to-back ones that were, done prior to the 9/11 attacks. So.
Yeah, and I see here originally it's meant to be a soldier's lament after Vietnam, so it works here.
Nothing Man coming in. What you think of this one?
I think it's good to know the context of it. Because, we follow on the lyrics on Genius when you click on stuff. It's just people annotating. Sometimes they'll have what the artist said, which is good stuff. But I think a lot of people that annotated on this one didn't understand.
Yeah, that
it was written, and so they put it into the context of 9/11, which I can see where it can be there. But when you understand it's from a Vietnam vet coming home, which relives a lot of his earlier stuff. I don't remember how I felt. I never thought I'd live to read about myself in my hometown paper, how my brave young life was forever changed in a misty cloud of vapor. And, in verse 2, he just basically talks about how everything is the same.
Yeah.
So it's funny, that's what life's like. We go through tragedies or difficulties or whatever, but the world still keeps going, man.
You're right. Or if they'll go and say, hey, man, how you doing? But then a month goes by, then it's like, they move on with their lives.
Man. Everything's the same no matter what you're going through. Everybody else is still chugging along. And I read that the third verse is very much a point of contention. You can call me Joe, so it goes back to the Vietnam stuff. Buy me a drink and shake my hand. You want courage? I'll show you courage you can understand. So here's where it's pearl and silver resting on my night table. It's just me, Lord. Pray I'm able. So to me, when I first heard that, it sounds like a gun, right? The pearl and silver handles.
Right, and the night table kind of.
He's going to take his life. He wants the courage to do it. But others say it's a rosary. And, Lord, give me the strength to get through this and move on and push on. With his Catholic upbringing, I don't know. I wouldn't have looked at it that way, but there's a lot of people that think that. I don't know. Open to interpretation.
It really is a brilliant song in the fact that there are these multiple interpretations,
Very nicely constructed. And I do see, Trey, why we couldn't follow up Into the Fire with this. We needed that popping thing in between.
No, you're right. And, I thought it was cool, too, his use of color here. He ended every verse with a different color, like misty cloud of pink vapor. The sky's still the same unbelievable blue. And then we get the pearl and silver coming in here. So, man, just and it had, like I mentioned in the reaction, a bit of almost like a spiritual component to it.
It did. That was a good observation, man.
But now we'll move on, y'all, to track number 5. We got Counting on a Miracle. So
yeah, and I see that it takes qualities and references from Sleeping Beauty, Little Red Riding Hood to paint the reality of attacks against the ideas of hope as well as eternal love and happiness that fairy tales emphasize.
Counting on a Miracle.
Very catchy.
Yeah, dude, I like this way more than Waiting on a Sunny Day.
I do too.
You're kind of comparing two songs that are more.
Yeah, definitely. Me too.
And just uses the fairy tale, kind of motif in there, talking about, there ain't no storybook story there's no never-ending song or happily ever after, darling, forever come and gone. I'm moving on. If I'm going to believe, I'll put my faith, darling, in you. So I like the fact he recognizes, oh man, this terrible, terrible thing happened, and yet still is like, I'm gonna persevere and keep my love for you strong to keep me going.
Yeah, exactly. I don't have much more to add to it. It's a pretty simple song in comparison to some of the. It still has a lot of lyrics, man.
No,
Bruce,
it does.
Bruce went all in on writing on this album, man.
And it kind of had that traditional Springsteen kind of vocal delivery more so than so.
I thought the same thing.
If you're not a fan of Springsteen normally, you're probably not going to be a fan of that song, but I enjoyed it quite a bit. So let's go now to one of the shorter tracks. It might be the shortest track on here, Empty Sky.
Yeah, and it's supposedly about a widower who lost his wife in the 9/11 attacks. And An empty sky refers to the New York City skyline after the Twin Towers fell. Ooh. So, wow. Okay, here we go.
Bring the heaviness back. Empty Sky coming in. It's song number 6 here. And just kind of what you said, Dad, really just reflects the power of, the lost loved one, and frames that in that empty sky kind of imagery. So
yeah, I mean, I think the first verse, like, it just grips you from the moment.
I
woke up this morning, I could barely breathe, just an empty impression in the bed where you used to be. I want a kiss from your lips, I want an eye for an eye. I woke up this morning to an empty sky, and then the chorus. And I think one of Bruce's many talents is that in his lyricism, he can write to the everyday man.
You're right.
Everyone can put themselves all of a sudden in that position. It doesn't have to be that your loved one's in 9/11. Just your loved one was here, and now all of a sudden they're taken from you.
You're right.
And it's like, man, I can't believe this. All I want is these simple things. Again, I would do anything for these simple things. So,
and I think that's just a good observation on Springsteen as an artist in general. Yeah. He's able to, like you said, that he's able to bring you in. He doesn't often write about like the decadence of stardom or this or that.
No, and it's not that his songwriting is, like simple or easy. He's a brilliant lyricist. It's just that he's able to be brilliant and bring you into the fold.
And I kind of like the throwbacks to Genesis a little bit.
Yeah,
I hear
verse 3.
Yeah, I hear the blood of my blood crying from the ground. Kind of makes me think of the Cain and Abel. And then on the plains of Jordan, I cut my bow from the wood on this tree of evil, on this tree of good. Of course, talking about Garden of Eden, had that. Just instrumentation wise, that piano came with the harmonica at the very end. Again, I thought it had that warm type of sound.
Yeah, really good try. I'm over here. I got to take notes on every song. There's 15 of them, so I remember when we go back through at the end. I'm like, okay.
Like, hey, so now we're going to go to Worlds Apart as we near the halfway point of this record. This might be, the longest song on the record. So
I guess you have it hearted, so we must have played it on a live stream.
We did.
I don't remember. But.
Yeah, so this, as I'm reading about it, it features that Indian instrumentation in there, so very kind of experimental and different from, obviously, a lot of Bruce's work.
Yeah,
so,
especially on this album.
A book-ended track, with the instrumentation. I mean, just a little bit, like 15 seconds at the end there.
Yeah.
The highlight for me is kind of the transitions of,
I agree.
From this or that. The Indian instrumentation, it's obviously it's a bit foreign to me, but I think in this context, it kind of worked, just on this one song, and it just stands out in the whole catalog of Bruce's music as being just so different sounding.
So different. An interesting inclusion on this album. I didn't dislike the song.
Yeah, it won't end up like among my favorites or anything, but I did like the message, though.
I did too, and I think that might be why, he put it on here. Because, we're in this, at this time, Trey, like, hatred was really rolling, and he's...
Yeah.
Even though he's, saying we got to rise up with this, he's also saying, we got to make sure that we don't... I think he's sending that, kind of low-key message. We got to make sure we don't just... spew hate.
You're right. No,
people randomly.
And I think that's kind of apparent and kind of bold in verse 2, where he notes where the distant oceans sing and rise to the plains in this dry and troubled country. Your beauty remains down from the mountain roads where the highway rolls to dark beneath Allah's blessed rain. We remain worlds apart. Yeah. Saying Allah kind of in you wouldn't expect Bruce Springsteen to drop that.
You wouldn't, and I think that's probably why. So
and shout out. I don't know if Van Zandt or Lofgren did the solo at the very end, but that was just
that was nice,
shredding and shrieking, man. So now that'll take us to Let's Be Friends, Skin to Skin. Let's be friends, skin to skin. I didn't know what I thought of that for the first minute and a half, but the longer it went on, the more I kind of
more catchy. What do you think it's about? Is he with someone of a different race?
I mean. I didn't really. I mean, now that you mention it, that could be it too.
Do you have any idea?
I just kind of thought it just was oozing that just sexual energy kind of throughout.
It's doing that, but I just think I don't know, man. I know we're different. You and me got a different way of walking. The time has come to let the past be history. I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe I just read that in there.
Well, I mean, it could. Well,
there's a lot of talk going around with them talk.
Coming off of Worlds Apart.
That's what I was thinking, and maybe I just kind of read that right in there, so I could be wrong. But
there's a lot of talk going around.
But that could just be like one of those two doing together too. So I could see it both ways, I guess. But
again, pointing to heck, you could do whatever interpretation you want, and I enjoyed the saxophone. Almost had like a. I don't know, just not like a hip hop beat, but something along those lines going in. So I thought it, and I really like the line, "Good times got a way of slipping away, man." Ain't that a good
let's
little,
be friends, baby. Let's be
very, very catchy
very
chorus
much so.
as well. So that'll take us now to Further On Up the Road. Another one with a little parentheses in the title here.
Yeah, and it was performed live at MSG during the summer of 2000 at the end of the Springsteen E Street reunion tour, which means it could not have been written for 9/11.
That's right.
It's sung from the perspective of a soldier. It follows a narrator's thoughts on war, their current predicament, and the hopes they have for their country in the future. So this one ought to be good.
I mentioned it in the reaction. Kind of had like a country delivery in the first couple verses a little bit, man.
Yeah, and I saw where the man himself, Johnny Cash, did a cover of this. And yeah, Bruce sounded different vocally. His delivery was definitely different. I think it fits the tone of the song, though.
It does, no, because I mean, it just right away kind of puts you in that soldier position.
It does,
oversea, man. The road's dark, the gun's cocked, bullets cold, miles are marked in blood and gold. I'll meet you further on up the road. So again, showcasing that reality of war or a tough situation, yet kind of having that hope and optimism in the future. Like, dude, I'm gonna meet you further on up the road.
Yeah, and I think those first two lines of verse 2 are really powerful. Got on my dead man suit and my smiling skull ring, my lucky graveyard boots, and a song to sing. Wow, man.
Dude, yeah, that was powerful, man. Another solid song too, and again, of course, very catchy.
Yeah.
I enjoyed this one, and now we're gonna go to The Fuse, which I'm wanting to say we maybe have played in a live stream. Maybe
No, we did it on. It was on Brian's.
That's what it was on.
In credits, yeah. It features a subtle hip hop beat and vocal looping. A re-recorded version of the song with an orchestral backing features in the Spike Lee directed film 25th Hour. Well, I did the research for that. That's the reason why I remember doing it. So we did a top 10 list for one of our patrons, Brian. In credit movie songs, and this was on there. So spoiler.
Okay,
if you don't watch it. So that's how we know it.
I remember enjoying it quite a bit.
Yeah.
So coming in at track number 10 on here, man, and kind of mentioned in the reaction, but Bruce has done a good job with an album this long of varying up the arrangements and the sounds, so that the songs aren't just like kind of blending into each other.
Yeah, and I thought that's what he did here. Obviously I remember the song, just I've only ever heard it the one time.
Yeah.
I like it. I don't love it, but it is a different kind of sound, and I think it was smart just for what you said. I mean, it switches stuff up. If you're going to do 15 tracks, man.
Yeah.
You got to switch it up, and you got to arrange it the right way. And so far, I think they've really done that.
No, man, and again, kind of setting that bleakness up with talking about the long black line of cars, that already makes you think of like a funeral, this or that, but then also kind of like Let's Be Friends, Skin to Skin, using that love, that passion to almost heal.
That's a good point.
What did Marvin Gaye say? Sexual healing.
Sexual healing, baby.
That's kind of what I'm getting through there. And then whenever the music stops, with your bittersweet taste on my tongue, cool.
Which you remember, which
I
I'm
did.
so impressed. Jeez, man.
Well, we're going to go now to Mary's Place up in here, inspired by, in my book, the greatest male vocalist of all time, Sam Cooke's Meet Me at Mary's Place.
And there's a varying amount of beliefs of what this song is about, so I probably won't even dive into all of those. It's just, you can kind of interpret it how you want.
Religious
a lot of religious tones and allusions on it. Very catchy, very well put together. I think it could have been a minute shorter.
I'm with you. A little bit shorter.
Minute and a half shorter. It's fine. It's good. I like it. Just little critique in there.
Yeah.
Not that Bruce needs my critique, but
No, it had that kind of infectious energy.
It did. From the jump, it did.
You noted this kind of was a throwback to that 70s era.
Would have fit into 72 to 75 pretty nicely.
And I agree with you 100% there. I like that the horns were able to shine a little bit. That female backing, which has happened to on a lot of these recent
a
tracks.
nice punch there.
So I like it. Interpretations can vary. Whether it's religion, obviously, just even the name Mary. You think,
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Mother Mary, and whatever the case may be. I think people can just kind of fill it in wherever they want. Whether Mary is his love, Mary the religious tone, this or that. Just kind of had that spiritual air to it.
Definitely. And I think it was well placed, Trey, because we're about to get to a song that I actually looked at it. I looked at the lyrics to this a little bit. I just looked at what it was about a little bit. And I bet it's about to get heavy again.
Oh man, so I like that. Bruce bringing us up to let us down easy.
You gotta really bring the up and downs here. Continues the theme of loss as a result of 9/11. This is actually kind of what I talked about earlier. Mm-hmm. The song deals with how everything seems normal except the person that matters is missing from it all. So it's kind of what I talked about earlier. Everything goes on, but so
you're missing.
This might be a tough one.
Emotionally dense.
Wow, man.
Whew. I mean, Bruce said it all. Very kind of straightforward interpretation here, man. But just I've been fortunate in my life not to have lost anybody that was really close to me, man. But
even in my life, I haven't lost many people that I was, even. I mean, I've lost a few friends and stuff, but nobody that I was like super close with at the time. I may have been close with them at times, but very lucky.
But man, he just gets to the heart of the matter, talking about all those things that don't immediately pop into mind when somebody passes away.
It's all around your house, right? Because that's where you live. When you see their stuff and you're reminded of it all around the house.
Everything is everything, but you're missing, talking about the coffee cups, the papers, the jackets, this or this.
The clothes, everything, just like you said. I mean,
man,
your house is waiting. It's waiting for you to walk in,
And the one that got me, man, was children are asking him if it's all right. Will you be in our arms tonight? Sheesh, dude. That was the one of the strongest, I think, lyrics in the entire deal. Too much room in my bed. Too many phone calls. How's everything? Everything. I wonder if they're switching. People asking, how's it going? And then God's drifting in heaven, devil's in the mailbox. God and goodness seem so far away while evil's knocking at your door, type of deal.
Exactly.
So dang, dude, the most immediate comparison would be like Empty Sky, which kind of dealt with the same type
that's
of
what I was
subject
thinking
matter.
too. I was thinking the same thing.
So really strong tune, man. As this next one is, we got the title track, ladies and gentlemen, The Rising, lead single. Went to only 52.
Yeah, it shocked me.
Which really does surprise me too, just since this was released so soon, kind of after. Bruce wrote this in reaction to 9/11, gained critical praise, earned Grammy Awards for Best Rock Song, Best Male Rock Vocal Performance, as well as a nomination for Song of the Year. Rolling Stone placed it at 35 on Best Songs of the Decade. VH1 placed it at 81 on a list of 100 Greatest Songs of the Decade as well.
It was written late in the Rising's development and was meant as a bookend to the album's Into the Fire. Springsteen could not let go of one of the central images of that day, those who were ascending into what? Thus, the song tells the story of a New York City fire department firefighter climbing one of the World Trade Centers after the hijacked planes had hit them during the 9/11 attacks. The lyric depicts a surreal, desperate environment in which he finds himself. Following his endorsement of Barack, you mentioned this earlier, it replaced U2's City of Blinding Lights as the commencement of Rowley song. And Springsteen himself actually performed this song acoustically in one of the Change Rocks, which is a big thing back then, Trey, when they were trying to get the voters out during early October 2008 at Obama registration vote rallies. It's also played immediately following his victorious presidential acceptance speech in Grant Park in Chicago. He opened the January 18, 2009 We Are One, the Obama inaugural celebration at Lincoln Memorial with this song. And I was looking on my phone during that last song at the very end because my top songs from Spotify had hit. And I was curious where this song was in my top 100 songs. It's 32. So it's weird. This makes it even weirder that I haven't heard it. I mean, my list is littered. Darkness on the Edge of Town was my last year's #1 song.
That's right, yeah.
How weird is that? But that's the first time I listened to that album last year. And I've got his new album all over my top 30, which is something I'm going to drop a solo review of later. I know I know Rich is not as big a fan of Letter to You, his new album, as I am, but I love it. So all that to say,
and didn't he perform this at on Broadway, Springsteen on Broadway? I'm pretty sure he did, and that was the first time I heard it, and I was like, dang, this is a powerful freaking tune.
It's a banging tune, man.
One of the best songs I think on this record, man, and one of the strongest ones probably in his whole catalog.
I'm telling you, man, it's one of my favorite. I don't know if I'd say it's probably one of my top 10. I've never done my top 10 favorite, but I mean, it's freaking unbelievable, man. Just in the way it's arranged, all of it, right? Like it builds. You talked about it, it builds, and then we get the drums coming in after verse 1 just a little bit, and then when verse 2 hits, we're going more, and then you get the backing, and then in two different places. Very strategically, I think that he uses just the la 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 because the verse before it is so heavy.
No, you're right.
He's breaking up the heaviness a little bit, but this is this insanely heavy song wrapped up in this great up-tempo instrumentation.
You're right.
So, I mean, it's just so well done.
Just expert songwriting by Bruce here, man. So many highlights here. All this show one, in one of the verses here. Their spirits above and behind me, faces gone black, eyes burning bright. May their precious blood bind me, Lord, as I stand before your fiery light, man. You just the firefighters, man, just had that went up. Just so much cojones and guts to go and know that I'm probably gonna die, as I'm going up here.
That's the bridge before verse 3, and then he has died. Is the way I see you, Mary, in the garden. Not Mother Mary. It's his wife.
Yeah.
In the garden of 1,000 sighs, there's holy pictures of our children dancing in the sky filled with light. May I feel your arms around me, may I feel your blood with mine. A dream of life comes to me like a catfish dancing on the end of the line. And then, the call and the little sky of blackness and sorrow, a dream of life.
Yeah, that was cool. He was, and that other headphone just kind of whispering.
Yeah, and then that chorus comes in and just bangs that thing out at the end. Just freaking awesome, man.
An unbelievably, not only powerful record, but just powerful song here, man. Bringing it to a head. So that this will spoiler. I mean, I know it'll be on yours too. This will be on my favorite tracks at the end. And now we're gonna go to Paradise, our penultimate track, which seems it'll also be quite heavy. First verse, Springsteen's singing from the point of view of a female suicide bomber.
Yeah.
Then he switches to somebody who lost somebody in the 9/11 attacks. And so we'll see what we got in store here.
I think he finishes up with somebody who's wanting to maybe commit suicide.
All right, Paradise coming in, man, as a late contender for my favorite tracks here at the end.
Man, dude, I'll tell you before you even get a lot of this isn't even I don't even consider it music that I'm going to sit here and spin again.
No.
It's I mean, for lack of I don't want to be hyperbole or cliche, but I mean it's a work of art. It's just it's unbelievable. I mean, this song is. You mentioned it during the reaction. He starts out with basically almost no instrumentation. It's really subtle,
so sparse,
and then it does build a little bit in verse 2, but not much. But like we talk about, verse 1 is about the suicide bomber, and in some belief systems, I'm not going to get into all this. In some belief systems, at least radical sides of it, they believe that the biggest thing you can do to achieve paradise or their heaven is to give your life for your faith. And so in the crowded marketplace, I drift from face to face. I hold my breath and close my eyes, and I wait for paradise. So that's verse 1.
Yeah, and then verse 2, we go, somebody losing a loved one here. The Virginia hills have gone to brown. Another day, another sun going down. I visit you in another dream. Your smell lingers in the air. I taste the void upon your lips. And what? I'm waiting for paradise.
And then, verse 3.
Verse 3, somebody going to attempt, suicide, going underneath the water, and then I see you drifting down, I disappear, I see you on the other side, I search for the peace in your eyes, but there's emptiest paradise here. So little play on kind of that.
Just awesome. And then the outro, I break above the waves, I feel the sun upon my face. So they decided to live, they decided to try to overcome. Man, dude, freaking awesome song.
So I liked how sparse the instrumentation was. It fit. It gave that bleakness that every one of these people is feeling. Yeah. And, it was...
you could feel it in Bruce's emotion in his voice. It was perfect, man.
And I do like that triumphant nature. Oh, I'm breaking through the waves. Yeah. This really sucks, but you know what? I'm going to try to push on through, even through the hardship. And so just a wonderful song. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we are to the last song on this on this monumental record. We got My City of Ruins, written in November of 2000 for Asbury Park, New Jersey Christmas show benefit to help promote the revitalization of the city. It was once a popular resort destination in the late 19th and early 20th centuries. Asbury Park had succumbed to significant amounts of blight for a variety of reasons, including the ill effects of the Great Depression, opening of the Garden State Parkway, and race riots. And then it took on a new meaning, of course, after 9/11, offering a message of hope and rising from the ruins.
Yes, its most famous live performance came on September 21st, 2011, so just 10 days later, during the America Tribute to Heroes National Telethon. With only a guitar and a harmonica, Bruce opened the program, introducing the number as a prayer for our fallen brothers and sisters and modifying a few phrases in the song. And then even New Zealand, Christchurch, New Zealand, earthquake. It was widely used by the New Zealand television stations during the coverage of the February 2011 earthquake and became an unofficial anthem of the city in the weeks and months that followed. And then this I found interesting. I've never heard this song, but the gospel, like My City of Ruins, is organized around the melody line of Curtis Mayfield's People Get Ready.
Ooh, cool,
That's your best
man.
singing you're going to get out of me. I'm sorry. But
All right, dude. Well,
Wow.
we'll get into this. Then afterwards, as always, do our favorite tracks and overall score.
get ready. That's going to be a long list.
My City of Ruins coming
Wow.
in with just an excellent closer for this record.
You can see how it was written for Asbury Park, but then you can
Yeah.
see how you could just take those lyrics and put them into 9/11 or the earthquake.
You're
track,
right,
Or
yeah.
anything else you want, or COVID, or
Dude, you're
whatever
right. Yeah,
you want.
anything that's going on, My City of Ruins. But guess what, man? We're going to rise up.
Yeah, just a great way to end an album with an uplifting. I mean, it's uplifting, yet it's, he's in the middle of trauma.
Yeah, he still recognizes, he's talking about the boarded up windows, the empty streets while my brother's down on his knees. In the first verse, he notes that, the church door's open, organ's playing, but the congregation's gone. And then, kind of midway through the song, we get that first, come on, rise. And I like that. It's like a declaration.
No, it is. They said that during the
command,
reaction.
like,
I thought that was
let's
great,
go, dude.
And then verse 3, now there's tears on the pillow, and you took my heart when you left without your sweet kiss. My soul is lost, my friend. Tell me, how do I begin again? And then we get into that My City of Ruins, and then that last bridge out. The way it ended was,
Dude, yeah, because the backing vocals coming, it definitely had a gospel feel
Definitely.
toward the end, like, with these hands, and then Bruce just going in, almost like he is a preacher. I pray for the strength, Lord. We pray for your love, the lost.
the world, and then you finish it the way that an album like this should finish, with just that come on, rise up 5 times, boom.
Dang, man, what fantastic. I thought the record ended really, really strong.
Yeah, it did.
And I guess before we get to the overall score, we'll hit our favorite tracks up here, Dad. I know you already got them up, and
You're seeing a lot of...
yeah, putting in the work, man. So I'll let you go first.
Well, guys, I'm just going to go in order. Lonesome Day, Into the Fire, You're Missing, The Rising, Paradise, and My City of Ruins. I got to finish
that final 4
that
run,
which is really difficult to do usually in the arrangement of albums. Usually it ends out, on these long albums. And I always like to guess here. I'm going to guess that the 2 you would throw out, Rich, are Waiting on a Sunny Day, and I'm going to go Worlds Apart.
Yeah.
Okay, so,
no, man, great. I'm going to be, for my favorites, I'm going to go The Rising, Paradise, My City of Ruins. I usually only choose 3, but...
I can go more.
Yeah.
It's 15 songs, too, man.
We'll go Into the Fire. Shout out to Nothing Man as well. I thought that was incredibly
That was a great
powerful.
song, yeah.
And then our closer here, My City of Ruins. Dang, man, that'll take us now to our overall score of the record, Dad. I'll let you take the helm.
Well, usually on album reactions, first time we've heard it, it's not going to be a super high. This thing is unbelievable. I know I've heard that a lot of times. It's crazy. I've never heard it. I'm glad I never have and just experienced it like this with you, just going through the lyrics. Because normally you're just going to listen to an album. You're not going to sit here and go through the lyrics, while you're listening to it. And it just adds to the experience tremendously.
It does.
I'm going to be, even though it's 15 tracks, and there's some tracks I would throw out.
Yeah.
But even with that, the strength of it, the songwriting is unbelievable. I'm going to be at a 9 out of 10.
Ooh, I love it, man. I I think you mentioned something just right before we went into My City of Ruins that is just a work of art. I don't think this is Bruce's best record, but I think it's definitely his most important album.
That's what I would say too. And I don't think it's his best either.
And who knows? I mean, as the decades go on, this might be one of the 2 or 3 that's remembered the most due to the just the association with 9/11, which one of the biggest events.
And if you and me might have spun it in 2002, when you would have been 7, so it would have been weird for me to make you listen to all this depressing stuff. But if we would have spun it then, we might have the connection to it that a lot of people do.
No, you're right. So, man, I really just thought it was just unbelievable songwriting. Enjoyed the arrangements in here. A lot of the songs were able to differ up, from track to track. You can nitpick and say, I maybe would have trimmed it to 12 songs, about 55 minutes to an hour.
That's what I would have done as well.
So that's really my only main critique. There were a couple on here that I might have just tossed out. But all that to say, man, there wasn't like a bad track on here. So I'm gonna be at a solid 8.25 for me. I really thought this was a great album, and it's not one I'm gonna be spinning as much.
Me neither, man.
When when you're in the mood for it, this is one I can see myself like spinning in remembrance every 9/11. Let me put on The Rising by Bruce here.
That's a good idea, especially in this upcoming year's the 20th.
That's right, man. So wow, dude, thanks to Rich for bringing this to us. I know this was a long video, y'all, but we wanted to do it justice, and hope that we did. Again, just rest in peace to all those who lost their lives in 9/11, man. And let us know what you think of this record. Where would you? What are your favorite tracks? Where would you put it in relation to the rest of Bruce's music? As always, Dad, appreciate the research.
Yeah, it's a fun ride.
And until next time, y'all, thanks for watching. Happy listening, and we will see you.